My parents threw my brother a $30,000 high school graduation party. When I graduated medical school, they sent a text. 3 weeks before my brother's high school graduation, the house turned into party planning central. Mom hired a professional event coordinator who showed up with binders full of vendor options. Dad cleared out the entire garage to make room for catering prep, moving his tools into the driveway where they sat for weeks. They rented a live band, custom ice sculptures shaped like Trevor's football jersey number, and booked out our country club's entire patio section. I was finishing my last rotation at the hospital, working 14-hour shifts, surviving on vending machine coffee and granola bars. My medical school graduation was in 2 months. I'd spent 8 years grinding through undergrad and med school, taking out massive loans, missing family holidays to study. Maybe dinner at that Italian place we used to go to. Mom looked up from her seating chart spreadsheet like I'd interrupted brain surgery. Honey, your brother only graduates high school once. This is a huge milestone for him. My graduation is kind of a bigger deal though. I started, but Dad cut me off before I could finish. You've always been the responsible one. You don't need validation like Trevor does. He's struggled so much to get here. We need to make this special for him. Trevor's idea of struggle was getting a C+ in gym class and having to retake driver's ed twice. The party happened on a Saturday in June. 300 people showed up. Distant relatives I hadn't seen in years, his high school friends, my parents' co-workers. There was a professional photographer, a photo slideshow with baby pictures, a 3-tier cake designed to look like his varsity jacket, and a champagne toast where Dad gave this long emotional speech about Trevor's journey and how proud he was. I worked a double shift that day, covering for a colleague, came home at midnight to find them still cleaning up, exhausted but glowing. 2 months later, I walked across the stage with my MD degree, top 5% of my class, match day placement at Johns Hopkins for residency, one of the most competitive programs in the country, 8 years of sacrifice finally paying off. My phone buzzed during the ceremony. It was a group text from the family chat. Congrats, Dr. Sarah, proud of you. That was it. No party, no dinner, not even a card waiting at my apartment, no phone call, just a text they probably sent between errands. I drove back to my apartment alone, ordered pizza, and sat there in my cap and gown staring at that text. My roommate was out celebrating with her family at a fancy steakhouse. The next morning, I called them, asked if they wanted to celebrate at all. Maybe that Italian dinner we talked about. Mom sighed like I was asking for a kidney. Sweetie, we're still recovering from Trevor's party financially. That took a lot out of us. We're exhausted. Besides, you're a doctor now. You're set for life. You don't need us making a fuss. You understand, right? Dad added in the background, you've always been independent. That's your strength. Something clicked. I realized they'd never see me. I was the self-sufficient one, so I didn't deserve celebration. I was the one who succeeded, so I didn't need support. I was easy, so I got nothing. I stopped calling, stopped visiting for holidays, focused on my residency and blocked out the noise. 4 years passed. I became an attending physician in emergency medicine, got engaged to another doctor I met during residency, bought a house in a neighborhood I dreamed about since childhood, built a life. Then my brother called, first time in years. Hey Sarah, so Trevor got fired from his 3rd sales job and he's moving back home. Mom and Dad were wondering if you could help with his rent somewhere since they can't really afford to support him anymore after everything they've spent on his various fresh starts. I laughed. Actually, laughed out loud. He stammered something about family, helping family, about how I was doing so well and they just needed a little help getting him on his feet. I told him I'd think about it and hung up. I didn't think about it. That weekend, I sent a group text with a photo, me standing in front of my new house with my fiance, both of us in our white coats from the hospital. Caption, some of us didn't need a $30,000 party to figure out how to launch. 3 days later, Mom called 8 times. Dad left a voicemail about disrespect and family loyalty. Trevor sent a long text about how I'd changed and become cold. My wedding is in 6 months. The ones who celebrated my text message graduation are invited my chosen family, my colleagues who showed up, my friends who actually cared. Mom, Dad, and Trevor got their invitation yesterday. A screenshot of that congrats Dr. Sarah text with RSVP, no, written across it in red. Then I blocked all 3 of them.